Success comes from experience, and experience comes from failures. Does it mean we all need to fail a few times before we succeed? Some learn from their own mistake, and some learn from others' mistake. The word success has 7 letters. The first letter is S, which stands for setup. What it means is, how do you define success? Everybody will have his own definition of success. No two people would agree on the same definition of success. When I was around 20 years, my definition of success was different. As on today, the definition is, quite different from what it had in the past. Normally, success has 2 aspects. It has 2 meanings. One is for the outside world and one is for yourself. When your family says you are successful, they mean something else. When you say I'm successful, it means something else. They're talking about the same person. Normally, when outside world says you're successful, they mean in terms of money. And normally when we say, some of us, not everyone, that I am successful, normally means I'm in bliss. But we have to take a holistic definition. You must include everyone into that definition. So you have to be successful as defined by your family, and you have to be successful as defined by yourself. The second letter is U, which stands for unlimited energy and unwavering courage. Higher the energy you have, higher the success you attract. Whatever is your frequency, cosmos will respond based on your frequency. If you are at a higher frequency, you will attract better things in life, better people in your life, better opportunity, better job, more money, so on and so forth. There is something called personal energetic vibrational frequency, PEVF. You need to have your PEVF to be quite high. Higher the PEVF, more successful you are. Higher the PEVF, happier you are. Higher the PEVF, better people you attract in life. We have already discussed this concept in detail in one of the earlier classes. This concept was given by David Hawkins. The third letter in the word success is C, which stands for conscious choices. In life, you have to make choices continuously. It's not that once you made a right choice, everything is over. No. Continuously, you have to keep on making choices, one after the other. And you have to be right all the time. You cannot make choices in passion. You have to make choices in consciousness. So that's why I say conscious choices. It's not a coincidence when people succeed. Some people who are highly successful, it's not a matter of coincidence. It's a matter of choice, what they chose. For the fourth letter is again C, S-U-C-C. Now this is continuous learning. When I became a chartered accountant, first thing I did was I wrapped my books, kept it on the loft. I said, now no more I need to consult my books. Everything done, finished, so happy. But then I realized I was wrong. Whatever I studied before being a chartered accountant, I had to study more than that after becoming chartered accountant. In real life, when you get a client, you cannot tell your client that this is out of syllabus. I did not study this. You have to know anything and everything. And you have to keep on upgrading yourself, keep on upgrading, be it medicine, be it engineering, be it accountancy, or any stream for that matter. You have to upgrade, and more so in software. Because if you don't upgrade, you're obsolete. Whatever you have learned today, next year you'll be obsolete. So this learning, continuous learning, and you have to accept changes. Now this is very important. You remember about Nokia. This company had a huge market share. At one time, they were the market leaders in mobile phones. Then what happened? They lost that space because they were not willing to accept change. They thought we are the market leader, we will remain market leader. No. Just because you are successful today does not mean you'll be successful tomorrow even. To remain at that pinnacle of success, it is even more difficult. We all know about Kodak. What happened to Kodak? Kodak had 80% of the market share, the global market share. 80% of the camera market and those films required for clicking were captured by Kodak. What happened to that? They lost the market share. Other companies like Fuji and many others came into. So just because you are number one does not mean that you will remain number one forever. You have to accept changes. You can't be resistant to changes. And not only you have to accept changes, sometimes you have to create changes and you have to, proactively create changes in and around you. The fifth letter in success is E. E stands for excellence. You must have come across some people, whatever they do, they will have that finesse in their work. A work as simple as giving you a glass of water. Some people have that finesse in their work. They won't be very casual. They will give it in a way that you will remember, it will become memorable for you. Excellence in everything what you do, whatever you do. Excellence is your habit. Excellence is your style. Excellence is your attitude. I know many such people. So what happens is when you see these people, you make a forecast that, oh, this person is going to be really successful in life because of his that mark of excellence in everything he does. Excellence is not just one-off thing. It is part of your personality. It's part of your habit. The next letter would be S again. Now that stands for you make goals in life, you make mission in life, you make objectives in life, but then those mission and objectives and goals must be smarter goals, as we say, smart or smarter. Now we know this acronym SMART: specific, measurable, action oriented, realistic, time bound, and evaluated periodically. And what is the last one? And reviewed periodically. Yes. So you must have goals based on this principle. I want to do this is meaningless. You have to specify, you have to break it down into measurable units. You have to make it time bound. It must be realistic also. The last letter in the word success is again S. Now that stands for striving and persistence. There was a boy who was thrown out of school because he was a slow learner. The same boy, when he took up a job, he was again thrown out of the job because he was unproductive. The same boy, when he wanted to do some research, he failed 1,000 times. The same boy holds, as on today, about 1,100 patents to his credit. Yes, you got him right. I'm talking about Edison. Thomas Edison Alva. He was persistent. He knew what he was doing. So what his teachers did not appreciate. So what his bosses in job did not appreciate. So what he failed so many times. Somebody asked Edison after he invented bulb that you failed 1,000 times before you became successful. Edison said, no, I did not fail. My success had 1,000 steps. So people who are successful, their way of thinking is different. Do we have that kind of persistence? So the word success has 7 letters, and let me sum it up. The first one is spell out. So you define success in your own way, because what is success to me may not be success to you. Everybody will have his own definition. Second is unlimited energy, SU. The third one is conscious choices. Fourth one is continuous learning. Fifth one is excellence. Sixth one is smarter goals. And the seventh one is striving and persistence. So when you have these 7 components, then you're serious about being successful in life. Now, let me give you an example of my life. I did not even know that I have to define success in my own way. I was just walking along and doing whatever I felt right. But then a point came in life, I said, what am I doing? Every day I'm moving, but I'm reaching nowhere. Why I'm not reaching anywhere? Because I don't know where to go. I don't know. I don't even know what is my destination. In one of the scripture I read, it says, success is like a bird. It has 2 wings. One wing is materialism and the other wing is spiritualism. Now, if you want to fly high in life, you must have both the wings. Otherwise, you can't fly very high. You will come to a plateau. So one wing is materialism and the other one is spiritualism. You must balance both. Then only you can flap both of them and fly higher. There is another version I came across which says the success is like a vehicle. A vehicle has 4 wheels. So success has 4 components. First one is money, indisputable. Then health, then relationship, and lastly, spiritualism. Of all the 4, if you ask me which is the most important, health is the most important component in success. Because whatever you have in life, the only way to enjoy that is through your health, through your body. Even if your objective in life is to attain God, for that you have to maintain your body, then only you will ascend in spiritualism. Once the body is lost, once health is lost, even the spiritual practices come to a stop. You cannot visit temples, you cannot go to Udupi, you cannot go do anything if you don't maintain a good health. So health is the most important. And when we talk about health, more than the physical health, it is the mental health, which is important. Haven't you seen people saying, oh, I have everything in life. I have money, I have this, I have car, bungalow, servants, everything. I don't have peace of mind. Normally, I've seen these things in TV serials. I have everything, but I don't have peace of mind. Mind in pieces, not in peace. Now so when we talk about health, we talk about physical health, we talk about mental health, and one more, emotional health. Some people I've come across, you talk to them for a while, they start crying because they are not emotionally stable. Because they are not emotionally stable. whatever they will narrate about their life, they will start crying. So physical health, mental health, emotional health. And how to maintain this, we all know this. Through yoga, through pranayam, through meditation. We all know these practices. And if you have no health, everything comes to a stop. No matter how much money you have, you cannot enjoy food if you don't have good health. I know so many of my friends and so many of my clients, they have almost everything, but they cannot eat what they want to eat. They cannot get good sleep in the night. They cannot visit places where they want to visit, but they have everything. It is because of health. So everything will become futile if you don't have good health. So when we say you are successful, first thing you must maintain a good health. Otherwise, success has no meaning. Second aspect is money. Somebody in some context had told me that money is the root cause of all evil. And that baffled me. I said, how is it possible? Because that person told me it's written in Bible. That's why I got baffled. That a spiritual book, a religious scripture has this statement, money is the root cause of all evil. Then I looked at the Bible and I realized it's not written like that. It's written, love of money is the root cause of all evil. Love of money. Now that makes all the difference. Love of money is attachment. Love of money is greed. Money in itself is a medium. Money is neither good nor bad. Money will help you to do whatever you want to do. If you have, even if you are a spiritual seeker, still you need money. You need to eat food. You need to visit places of worship. For anything and everything you do, you need money. So you cannot say that, no, I don't value money in my life. Even if you lead a life of a beggar, as a monk, you can do that. You can beg and do that. But still, you need money. You will have to beg every day and do your transactions. So money has an important role in life. So some people take a very wrong position in life. That no, I'm not going to touch money. I'm averse to money. Money is the root cause of all evil. Money creates so much of ill will. It's a wrong position. Money is an important component in your success. Money shows the kind of energy you have, the kind of talent you have, the kind of magnetism you have. We'll discuss this aspect of money more in detail when we discuss money. The third aspect is relationship. You might have money, you might have good health, but there's nobody to talk to. Your spouse doesn't talk to you, your children don't talk to you, your parents don't talk to you, your colleagues don't talk to you, your neighbors don't talk to you. Will you like that kind of life? Why do you wear good clothes? Because people should comment on you. For relationship, one is if you have ego control, most of the relations will be taken care of. Most of the relationship. The bulk of the problem is your ego. If you take care of ego, most of your relationships will fall in line. Secondly, tongue control. Control your tongue. I mean, mostly all relationship will work out fine. Tongue control. Speaking whatever comes to mind. No, that cannot happen. So the tongue control is essential for good relationship. And not only with your seniors or with elders, with everybody. And tongue restraint is not easy. There was a lady, she went to a doctor and said, "Doctor, my husband gets angry at every small things." So doctor said, "No problem, I have a solution for this." So she was very happy. The doctor told her, whenever your husband starts to get angry, you take a glass of water and then take some water in your mouth and start swishing. Start swishing. The lady said, "Fine." Next time when the husband was about to get angry, she took water and started swishing. And it happened so many times and then it worked. She was very happy. She went back to the doctor and said, "Doctor, wonderful, this works. Whatever you suggested, it really works." The doctor said, "Ma'am, I've done nothing. It's just that it's a way to keep your mouth shut." So when you keep your mouth shut, most of the relationships will be taken care of. So tongue control is, there's another concept which I learned from one of the spiritual masters. In relationship, there are people, either they love you or they give you lessons. There are only two kinds of people. They love you or they give you lessons. And both the kind of people are important in your life. Only one variety will not make your life very upbeat. You treat people as sandpaper. Now, when sandpaper is rubbed, what happens? When it is rubbed on anything, on a piece of furniture, when you rub a sandpaper, that furniture shines. And what happens to sandpaper? It becomes useless after a while. So somebody who's critical of you, who's always condemning you, who's always abusing you, who's always finding fault with you, think they are sandpapers. You will shine. They'll keep on rubbing you, and you will ultimately shine. And sandpaper will become useless. Critics are quite important in life because they make you aware of many things in life which otherwise you will not be aware of. In most of our scriptures, it has been mentioned that you should keep critics near to you. Even Tulsidas ji said, "Nindak neere rakhiye." Those who criticize you, keep them closer to you. Those who always praise you, keep them at a distance. Now, when we spoke about success is like a vehicle which has 4 components, the 4th component is spiritualism. At an early age, people may not realize the importance of this 4th component. But eventually, sooner or later, people do realize that this component is quite important. And spiritualism is, if I have to define in one line, what is spiritualism? I always define it like this: to be happy without a reason is spiritualism. To be happy without a reason, without a purpose, without a motive. You're happy. So people might think, "Oh, you're something is wrong, you're lunatic." Let them think, that's their problem. So you learn to be happy all the time. That means you have reached at a good level of spiritualism. You don't get stressed with the outside world, because outside world, there will be fluctuations, there will be highs and lows, but you don't get affected. You remain in your bliss, you remain in your, you enjoy, you are having that happiness. And spiritualism is one dimension. I can tell you this with my own experience. With in my life coaching, I have a client and a friend. I was speaking to him yesterday. That person has tried many businesses, and somehow he could not succeed. It's not that he's not intelligent, he's supremely intelligent, he's highly qualified. He has capital, he has talent, he has the family background, he has connections, he has everything. But for some reason, his businesses did not click. Multiple times he's tried and nothing has clicked. He was asking me yesterday, then now what should I do? I said, you tell me what should you do? You give me the answer to this. Then he agreed on one suggestion which I gave to him. I said, you are not succeeding because your spiritual quotient is low. Your spiritual quotient is low. You are talented. He is an MBA. You are rich. You have a family connection. You have a business connection. You are from the business family. You have tried your paternal business. You have tried your other businesses. Still, no, what is missing? You are doing everything right. He's very systematic. He's very thorough. But still he does not succeed. Because the spiritual quotient is low. You cooked a very nice food. Everything is great. You know, you put all the ingredients, wonderful, but you did not put that salt, pinch of salt. Spiritualism. If you don't add that, everything will become tasteless. And the beauty of a spiritual dimension is, if you ascend in spiritual dimension, all the dimension will ascend automatically. Your health, your money, your relationship. When you ascend in spiritualism, all the three will ascend. If you ascend in any of the three, you won't ascend in spiritualism automatically. But if you ascend in spiritualism, all the three will be taken care of. I always say, and I would repeat here, all these spiritual gurus in India and also overseas, be it Sadhguru, be it Sri Ravi Shankar, and there are many more, you know, Deepak Chopra, many, there are multiple. All of them enjoy better health than you have. Probably you do yoga 2 hours and they may not be doing at all, but they have better health. They have more money than what you have. You do so much of business, they don't do business at all, but they have more money. So you try to go out to please your family. They don't please anybody, but everybody goes gaga over them. Why? Because they have only improved one dimension, spiritual dimension. And they are successful in all departments of life. That's the secret to success. Once you ascend in spiritual dimension, all the other dimensions will improve. A little bit of effort in health will bring a dramatic improvement. A little bit of effort in money dimension, dramatic improvement. Otherwise, you keep working like a donkey, and nothing. You don't see money. You don't see money. So spiritual dimension, do take care of. It might seem to you quite unrelated, but no, it is highly related. And the last aspect I always emphasize on, that you have everything in life. You have money, you have good health, you have relationship, you have spiritual dimension, but then some people, often tell me, I have everything, I don't have time. Marne ka time nahi hai. Don't have time. Time dimension. So, do you have time to learn and ascend? All of you come here every Sunday and spend your precious 1 hour. That 1 hour could have been, invested in some fun and frolic, maybe on television, maybe anything. But then you thought, no, I will invest this time in learning and ascending. So do you have time to learn and ascend in life? If you don't have time to learn, you don't have time to enjoy also. I have a lot of money, but I don't have time to enjoy that money. I have lots of good relatives, but I don't have time to go to the birthday parties. I don't have time to go to the wedding parties. So do you have time for everything? If you don't, then rearrange your life and create that. Otherwise, later you might regret. So there are basically 4 dimensions: money, relationship, health, and health has 3 components: physical health, mental health, emotional health, and spiritualism. And I just added one more aspect to it, which was time. In our scriptures, success has been defined a little differently. We say this person is very rich. Merely becoming rich does not mean that you are quite successful. Even if you have Lakshmi, you need to have all the 8 aspects of that Lakshmi. We know that. So Ashtalakshmi. So once you have all the 8 variants of Lakshmi, then only you are considered successful in life. So what are those? One is Adi Lakshmi. Now Adi Lakshmi basically means the spiritual wealth. Then there is Dhana Lakshmi. Dhana Lakshmi is wealth. So do you have wealth? Do you have property, collection of diamond, good watches, and so on, whatever. Whatever is your definition of wealth. So Dhana Lakshmi. Then Dhanya Lakshmi. Dhanya Lakshmi is, so some people, they have a very well-stocked kitchen, always. So that is Dhanya Lakshmi. Any guest comes, within seconds, there'll be food for that guest. My grandmother used to be very happy when any guest would walk into home. She would often say that only lucky people get guests. And she would insist she won't let the guest go out without eating dinner. She will make life hell of that guest. She will insist that person that she has to take dinner. So Adi Lakshmi, which is the spiritual wealth, then Dhana Lakshmi, so the wealth which we understand. Dhanya Lakshmi is the agricultural wealth. Another is Gaja Lakshmi. Now, Gaja Lakshmi is, in modern context, if I say, that means you have vehicles, you have means to transport, you have your own chartered plane, or you have whatever. You have your vehicle, you have car, whatever. In earlier times, they used to have animals as a mode of transport. Then there is Sanatan Lakshmi. Sanatan Lakshmi is progeny. That means you have children. You have quite a big family. You have children, grandchildren, and so on and so forth. So Sanatan Lakshmi. Another one is Veera Lakshmi. So you have that valor in you. You're not fearful of anything in life. You're not fearful of anything in life. Veera Lakshmi. So that is also a wealth. That is also part of your personality. That is also part of success if you have that quality in you. Then you have Jaya Lakshmi. Victorious. Whatever you do, you are victorious. Whatever you do in life, you are victorious. Jaya Lakshmi. If there is no Jaya Lakshmi, you won't be victorious. So you need to have all the 8 kinds of Lakshmi in your life. So money is just one aspect, one of the 8 aspects. There are 7 more aspects. Then there is Vidya Lakshmi, knowledge. Knowledge is also wealth. There is Aishwarya Lakshmi, prosperity, and few other variants are there. So only having money does not mean you are successful. Money is 1 upon 8. What about 7 upon 8? You should have another 7 aspects, another 7 dimensions to be called successful. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success.